2. We are live right now with Randy Churchill, the Churchill team, and I'm just really excited today to have Melody in with us, eXp Realty, the FAST team. Melody, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Randy. Thanks for having me on the show today. I'm excited.
Well, I think it's exciting, having, Serena and I kind of watched your career from, the early days of Jay Rockcliffe. You've blossomed, and it's really kind of exciting to talk about it today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I've been licensed since 2014 out here in the Bay Area. Grew up in Walnut Creek, and I started off at Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate back when Mason McDuffie was around, if you remember who they are. And
Melody,
mm-hmm.
I've been in real estate since '92. I know them all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I started off, just no real estate background. My parents were never in real estate, and I was answering phones as a receptionist at Better Homes and Gardens in Tice Valley, and I was making $13 an hour, just trying to put some gas money in my car one summer at 20 years old. And the broker manager, Maureen Dunbar, at the time, I'll never forget her. She became my first mentor actually in the industry, and she kind of took me under her wing, and she said, a girl like you with your personality and your character and people skills should not be chained to a desk for $13 an hour. You were meant to live a bigger, more full life and to create a vision for yourself and to live a life that you desire. And so at the time, I didn't really know what that meant. And she ended up, painting a picture for me of what my life could have looked like in the future, and how I could create a real vision for myself and live life by design, so to say. And so when she let me use the back office graciously to study for my real estate exam, and I ended up getting my license shortly thereafter at 21 years old. And after a few years, I jumped around from brokerage to brokerage, and I was at Rockcliffe, which is I think where we met. And then the pandemic hit, and so I never really had much success in real estate. I think because first of all, I started when I was really young. And second of all, because I never had the correct leadership that matched my learning style, that matched who I was as a person and the kind of coaching and mentoring that I personally needed. And so fast forward to the pandemic, in May of 2020, I was at home and I didn't really even know if I wanted to continue down this road of being in real estate because, as you know, it's pretty lonely sometimes, especially when you're young and you're still trying to figure things out and you don't really have any friends or family that are in the business doing what you're trying to do and trying to build a life. And so I ended up finding out about eXp, and shortly thereafter met Kenny Trong. And I actually recruited myself to his team in May of 2020, and I was number 16 on Team Fast. Just recognized an opportunity at the time and a level of training and high level of support that I had never experienced anywhere else. And it blew me away. And so I watched the team grow from 16 agents in May of 2020 to over 300 agents today. And I, was given the title of head of agent expansion not too long ago. And I'm helping the team grow now and meeting with agents that were my age when I first started and, are looking for a future and a vision of a bigger life for themselves. So it's really actually quite humbling to be in that position now at 32 and to be able to really walk them through this journey and tell them, I was where you at, or I was where you were at some point, and I can tell you that there is light on the other side of the tunnel. So
I think it's amazing is that I started selling real estate at 24, and here I am. I'm 29 now, and so yeah, a little humor there. It's so important in our industry to. I mean, it's really hard. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have family in the business, so they kind of understand the daily grind of it, and surrounding yourself with like people. It's surrounding yourself with driven people, surrounding yourself with people that want to build something. We all get caught. A lot of times, you get caught up in a brick and mortar with somebody that is at the water cooler complaining all day long. And I think with the Churchill team and Team Fast, we're surrounding ourselves with high achieving, you want to be better people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I think it's awesome. Tell us a little bit about working on a team.
So being on Team Fast, I mean, it's interesting because people meet me now, either people from past brokerages or people that are just newly getting introduced to me today, and they ask me, did you know about this? Were you somehow behind the scenes in knowing that Team Fast was going to grow to the level it's at today? Like, how did you know? And they think that I was like a part of this master plan, and I really wasn't. I was just in a position where I was looking to grow and learn as much as I can and to reach my full potential. And I wasn't ready to just quit after coming this way for 8 years during the pandemic when all the brick and mortar brokerages closed their doors down. I mean, as you know, there was no open houses, there was no trainings, there was no more office meetings, there were basically no, in-person showings, and everything, including the training, all just kind of came to a dead stop. And I'm young. I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to continue down this journey of self-discovery and self-growth. And I wasn't ready to give up. I've come too far to give up at this point. And so I think that I have always had that level of drive and tenacity and perseverance to where, it always just kept me going on to the next thing, and doors just kept opening up for me. And I was lucky enough to always somehow get introduced to and align myself with the right people that were going to lead me down the next path and the next opportunity for me. And, the statistic, I think it's
85%.
Yeah, of agents.
Where you're going, 85%.
Yeah, 85% of agents quit within the first 2 years of being in the business. And I'm lucky enough to not have been a part of that statistic, but it's a daily grind to try to continue opening up, the next chapter and to continue creating those opportunities for yourself. And so fast forward to Team Fast, I just noticed an opportunity when the pandemic hit, and I noticed that I wasn't getting what I needed where I was at, and I needed and deserved something more and better. And so with the training and the level of support that EXP had to offer, I had never experienced anything like that before. And so I wanted to surround myself with like-minded individuals just like you, Randy, and I wanted to be able to support and collaborate and mastermind and share ideas and have this open door policy where agents come together to really support each other because we're in the same journey anyways. So why not come together and help each other if we can?
Well, and I think here's a little EXP plug coming here. And I think, with Fast Forward Movement, and the down and up line that we're all in, but it isn't just the team that I find amazing. It's our Monday morning mastermind at 10 a.m. with a Kyle Whistle, a Dan Beer, it's, Vic DeCaro. I mean, it's amazing the people that we associate ourselves with that you don't. I mean, it's, you're over at Caldwell Banker or wherever you are, brick and mortar. We're sitting here having meetings with a Dan Beer who is going to do 600 million. I mean, obviously Kenny's going to do a ton of business this year, but here's another perspective. Here's Kyle Whistle with another perspective. It's amazing that the amount of collaboration, open playbooks, and I think it's helped. I know it's helped my game. And I'm sure it's helped your game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. And there's just a heart that these people have in this mastermind group, in the Fast Forward Movement, at Team Fast, at EXP, just within our ecosystem of everyone that we are involved with here in this amazing company. Like I said, I have personally never experienced this level of support and collaboration and training at such a high level before. If you normally want to be in these rooms with these people, you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to
no question.
to be able to sit in these rooms with these people. And you know, I was still young at the time, and I was still trying to figure things out, and I never really found that level of training and coaching that I needed in order to get me to my next level. And when I found this group, I really felt that heart and that love and that level of contribution at a very high level, that I felt like I had just 100% hit the jackpot. I mean, the conversations and the ideas and the level of sharing that I experienced today, I've never had before. And it just gets me excited to really just, you know, when I hear these people like Dan Beer, Kyle Whistle, Kenny Trong, Elias Estudo, when I hear these people share at the level that they share at, and share their playbook with each other, it makes me want to give back even more because I see their level of contribution.
Oh, 100%. I think, Jeremy Larson, Ben Strock, Mark Gelman's team in St. Louis. I mean, just sitting next to it's amazing that, I mean, I know people that, obviously we all do, and it's well worth it, and are writing, $1,000 checks for coaching each week.
Mhm.
Not everybody has that $1,000 to spend each week, but to get there, we're surrounding ourselves with these people that are amazing team leaders. They're amazing operators.
Mhm.
And it's amazing that when you, I hate to use this word, but we're all almost cult-like. I mean, we're a big EXP cult. It's great because we all drink the Kool-Aid, and it is the greatest thing that I've seen in real estate. We all want to see, and a friend of mine in real estate, calls BS on this, but we all want to see each other win.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we're on two different teams, but yet I want you to win. You want us to win. I mean, everybody wants everybody to win, and it's so different than a traditional brick and mortar company.
Right. And I totally agree with you, Randy. And I believe that there is I mean, obviously we have the revenue share program, which aligns all of our successes together. And, but other than that, you 100% want to be of contribution because you see other people being of contribution. And so that just happens organically within this company. And, I mean, not to make this an EXP plug, but, you know,
It's okay.
when I came from, and by the way, just full disclosure, I absolutely love everyone at J. Rockcliffe. I love Helene. Like, they were all so kind to me. Pam, all of them. And I really felt like I had a sense of community there as well. But being as young as I was and never really hitting that level of top producer in my early days, I kind of felt like there was a closed door policy at these companies. And I felt like there was a level of, hush, hush, don't share your ideas, don't let them know what you're doing, and go into the office, close the door, have all these private conversations within the confines of your own, team or employees. And no one was willing to sit down with me for 5 minutes to give me any level of advice or coaching, or just give me their 2 cents about things. It was just a very, I thought that was a little bit cult like. What we have going on here is more of a family. We really come together. I mean, I met Curtis Johnson for the first time at the Fast Forward Mastermind in San Diego last month. And the first thing that this guy said to me was, "What can I help you with? I know exactly who you are. You're Melody Kleoni. What can I help you with?" And he was so genuine about it. And he looked at me square in my eyes, and I just felt that love and that care come
Tell
from
people
it.
how big Curtis is, though.
So Curtis is, an icon agent with EXP. He's out of Arizona, and he has probably around 6,500 people in his organization right now. And I think he makes around, $400,000 a month with the revenue share program that we have. And I had never met him before this mastermind that I was invited to in San Diego. And we were at this beautiful resort, the Torrey Pines Hilton, right on the golf course near the ocean. And we were in La Jolla, and the mastermind was held at a gorgeous venue. And they took such good care of us. There were so many amazing people there that I would have otherwise never met. And these are people that are in the real estate industry and have been in the real estate industry for a very long time. And people traveled from almost, everywhere. I saw Bick there, she's from the East Coast. Tina Call, she's from Raleigh, North Carolina. She was there. She's also another team leader that I really admire and adore. And everyone just came to me and treated me like I was really a part of the family, and they were willing to take pictures and share and give me their 2 cents. And I even sat down with Tina for a couple of minutes after she came off stage when she presented, and she shared her entire playbook with me in 20 minutes and told me exactly what she's doing to recruit, exactly what she's doing to operate her team at a very high level, what kind of mastermind she's hosting, what topics and subjects that she's going over with her team to help educate them and to help them, be high achievers within their business and run and grow their own organizations. And so that I've never experienced before. I feel like it's truly priceless, and something that you can't really explain is community, right? You have to be there to understand community.
Well, 100%. I mean, like just today, I sent out a question and Kenny got back to me within 30 seconds. I mean, here's a guy that's running one of the largest EXP teams in the world, and he's getting back to me in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm not even part. I mean, I'm part of his organization, but I'm not on his team. But that's the kind of people we're surrounding ourselves with.
Right.
So here we go. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. Now you see new agents come and go. That 85%. What separates the 15% from the 80%, 85%? Why do some people make it and some people don't?
It's funny that you should ask me that question, because this is something that I have been weighing on pretty heavily lately, especially in the past couple of weeks. I spend an extreme amount of time on calls with brand new agents that are either unlicensed, in school, or just getting their license. And there is a huge difference between agents that I can tell that will succeed and agents that just don't have what it takes. And it sounds a little bit harsh and it sounds a little bit blunt, but I feel like it's my duty to be honest and to share exactly what I've experienced after being on hundreds of hours of calls with different people that I have never met and don't know. And there's two types of people in the world, or two different agents, I should say. Number one, the agent that walks into this and expects to get things just handed to them up front. And a perfect example about that is an agent that I spoke with that just got their real estate license, and the ink had not even dried yet. And within 3 days, they were telling me that they hadn't started the onboarding process. They weren't even sure what their real estate number was because it hadn't come in the mail yet, but that they were frustrated with the process because they were wondering why they weren't getting leads yet. And so I was like, well, let's talk about this. First of all, you haven't finished the onboarding process. You haven't went through our 7-week boot camp courses, and you don't even know what a purchase agreement looks like yet. And you're wondering why you're not getting leads yet. How could you be frustrated? Like, does it make sense? Have you given it a fair shot yet and given it 100% and your time and energy and really invested in figuring this thing out before you expect to just run out and go show someone a property without knowing what to say, what direction to take the conversation in, and really how to handle yourself and help someone. And so that right there just gives me a strong indication of, either this person needs a lot more coaching and hands-on support and training, and a dedicated mentor, which Team Past does have. We dedicate a mentor to each individual new agent on their first 3 transactions that walks them through everything that's from purchase agreements to listing agreements and everything in between. We explain the contracts to them. And then, not to get off topic, but then there's a second crowd of people, the other 50%, that come in and without me even giving them any sort of direction or telling them what to do, they're already researching things, asking me questions. They're in the Slack community. They're asking for open house opportunities. They're going into our communication, portal, and they're asking, who can I shadow this weekend at an open house? Can I shadow someone at a broker's tour? Is there anyone that can help me with trying to figure out High Note or Canva, or sit down with me for 5 minutes to explain the MLS? What can I do to help you so that I can learn more? And those are the type of people that will succeed in the business, because they're go-getters and they're tenacious, and they know that they might not know the answers, but that they will ask enough questions to figure it out. And that's exactly what I did when I first started.
Well, I think that, you nailed it. I call them high will people, and people that have the high will, they're going to go do those things. Or, how do I get to the next step? Maybe their skill isn't that high, but their will is high. We can always build skill on the backside by a mentorship or classes or this. If you don't have will, I don't care how many mentors you throw at them, you're not going to build will into these people. If they can't even figure out how to get the first 3-day checklist done, they may not be a good fit in real estate. Their will is pretty low to get rolling. I find that a lot of times somebody that comes out of a 9-to-5 job that doesn't have goals or doesn't have bonuses sometimes they're capable of changing it, but their will level is a little bit lower because they haven't had to go out and here's a bad term, but they haven't had to go out and eat what you kill. And I've been 100% commission since I was 24 years old. So different mindset there on my will versus somebody that's a low will.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that very strongly.
All right, Melody, what do you see the next 2 years for yourself?
Well, that's a very good question. And I would start out by saying this roller coaster ride that I've been on has been one of the most joyful experiences of my life. I'm so grateful to Kenny and Elias and for our entire Team Fast family for helping build this amazing community, because it's not just one person or two people. It's all of us coming together to support each other and to help each other at a very high level. And so the heart of Team Fast is really what I am, so connected with on such a deep level. And I am so invested in watching this organization grow. And so by the end of, right now we're at 300 agents. By the end of 2022, we're looking to be at least 600 agents in the organization. And our 2021 numbers was $674 million in real estate volume. And in 2022, we're looking to hit $2 billion in real estate volume. And so being the new head of agent expansion for Fast Real Estate, it is my duty and my honor to be able to give back to new agents that are starting out in this industry and showing them what we do, showing them how we operate, sharing with them our playbook, showing them that you can come into this business completely blindfolded, not knowing anything about real estate or not having any real estate background, just like I did when I was 20 years old or 21. And you can still succeed if you have the will and the confidence and a spirit of, not taking no for an answer. As long as you have the will and a vision, you will succeed in this business. And by the way, I think it's important to say that you can have will and vision, but if you're not aligned with the right people that will help you level up and give you that level of support and coaching and mentoring that you need, you might not get there as fast as you want to, but just having pure will and vision will help lead you along your journey to get aligned with those right people if you continue down that path. And so those are the agents I want to meet, and those are the agents that I personally want to talk to and coach.
It's funny, we have an agent coming back to our team on Monday, and it really, what he said was, I didn't realize how good I had it. It's like, I mean, between leads and the spirit, the collaboration, I didn't realize how good I had it. So it is. I think we all have it really well in our our upline with Lauren McLean, you, Kenny, Jeremy, Dan, Kyle. I mean, we so much talent around us that I think your biggest trait that I sales wise, you're always happy. I mean, I've never walked by you where you're not happy. And, I could be a curmudgeon at times, but, you walk by you and you're always happy. And I don't know if I mean, maybe if I talk to your husband, he would say you're not always happy, but, who knows? But, I think it's so important in sales is, no matter what's going on in your life, to be able to, put your big boy, big girl pants on and go to the office and be happy and sell.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you said that because, I mean, we all have our days, Randy.
Oh, 100%.
But there is a level of excitement that I feel to get out of bed in the morning and be of contribution that I never felt before up until, joining this amazing company and meeting these people and being around, the people in our company at Fast Real Estate and on the team at Team Fast and watching these new agents like come into the business after a year or two and absolutely crush it, like doing 18, 20, 30 deals in their first couple of years and do so well for themselves. It makes me feel that I have to show up as my best self every single day. It is my duty to be of contribution, and it is my duty, because I'm so honored to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to give back to people at my highest level. And these people in our company deserve to get the best version of me every single day. And trust me, I have my days. There's days where I don't want to do my hair and makeup. I don't want to be on camera. I just don't want to show up. But I see them show up at such a high level, and they're so spirited, and they've got their whole heart and soul into it. And it makes me feel like there is no other option for me but to show up as my best self every day.
Well, I mean, people ask my mom all the time, why don't you retire? And my mom goes, well, I could, but I love what I do.
Yep.
I love getting out of bed in the morning and going to sell real estate. I love helping people. I love identifying new clients, old clients. I mean, so, there's, you see it in her eyes. I mean, she loves what she does.
Yes.
And quite honestly, I think the excitement is infectious from new agents too.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, then they get here and it's actually it's a grind. We actually have to go out and work, and then
not only that, but our leadership at the team is absolutely amazing. I mean, everyone from Karina to Elias to Cynthia Peterson. I mean, these people show up with their heart and soul every single day. I mean, if you talk to Elias for 5 minutes and you see the level of energy that he brings to his agents, it makes you feel like you have to show up as a better person and to be of contribution and to give back to your community, regardless of if you have anything to get out of it or not. I mean, you could have absolutely no interest in watching someone else succeed, but when you're around that level of contribution, it just makes you want to. It makes you want to give back if you can, and it makes you want to help out, because that was never there at our previous brick and mortar companies. There was no one that would do that for you, and there was no one that cared enough to actually be of contribution and to pour into someone for no reason. And so here you are around these people that are giving back at such a high level, and they're doing it just because, and it's so refreshing and eye-opening to see and to watch them work like at such a high level. And by the way, I just want to give a huge shout out to Elias Estudo. He's the director of sales and coaching on Team Fast, and he's just an all-around 100% amazing human being. And I think that he knew that I had something in me from the first conversation that we had, because he absolutely will not let me fail. He will not let me drop the ball, and he mentors and coaches me almost every single day. And I feel so lucky to be aligned with someone like that has such a heart And, like I said, it's something that you don't find every day.
Well, I mean, 100%. And I think also kudos to you where you're taking this push from Elias and doing something with it. You see some people that will take the push and go turtle somewhere and not come out. So, really kudos to you for taking the push, taking the next step. And a couple of things we said here today, though, as we wrap up, is, one thing about real estate is you come into it, we decide based on our decisions each morning, each day, we decide how many hours a week we're going to work. We decide how many people we're going to talk to each week, each day, each hour. We decide really how much money we're going to make based on these decisions we make on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really not a lot of industries, sales jobs out there that you, me, the agents decide how much we want to make.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based on decisions. It's based on you had a lifestyle you wanted to fund,
Mm-hmm.
and you've done it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, people need to think about that as you go into real estate. It's your decision if you're going to be successful or not you, them. They decide each morning, am I going to be a success? Am I going to win the day?
Mm-hmm.
And what metric are you using to decide if you won the day? But I mean, it's a whole nother topic. But I mean, great job. Loved having you on today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was so much fun being able to get together with you. And I love seeing you and Sarita in action. And thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely, Melody. And, we'll circle back maybe in a couple months and see how you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna keep doing what we do, which is changing lives, giving back to our community. And we have an open door policy. If anyone is looking for a change, I suggest that they come and, reach out and they set up a meeting and talk to us and talk to you. And, we're both aligned in our organization. And, if there's anything that I can do to give back to you and your team or to pour in and show up at a high level, let me know. I would love to be there and be able to support you guys.
Appreciate it, Melody. You be well.
Okay. Thanks, Randy.
Bye.
Bye.